Well, good morning from my backyard garden, and this is my off day. I just came out here and did some cleanup, cut some back, staking some stuff up. I got my yellow squash here. I have one growing, and a couple more possibilities over here. They seem to be doing good, and I got that from online, watching videos talking about pulling them up so they're off the ground and less prone to like the disease coming up. Gets the leaves up and more air to the plant, which I learned watching videos on here. And then over here we got our sugar baby watermelons. I've got one coming up there. The vines are doing pretty good. They're climbing. We have one there, another here, one here. There's one on the back side. It kind of got flipped to the back of that. And then we got flowering along the ground. There's another little hidden one down here. And I think that about does it. This one, I'm not real sure. I don't think this one got pollinated good. So that one will probably fall off or get pinched off. Anyway, so the rest of them are running along the ground. But the ones that are climbing seem to be doing good and up. My potato bed over here looks like it's starting to die out. These especially down here. So I'm kind of debating whether I should go ahead and just start pulling up and see what we got. This one I might wait a little bit longer on because it's still pretty green. Behind that we have, I don't know if you can even see. This is the, I believe, straight 8 cucumbers. And then as you can tell down here, we are just absolutely loaded with flowers. The catch to that is I haven't seen any, it's already to the very top of the trellis, but I haven't seen any females quite yet. So my fingers are crossed on that one, because if it produces like these male flowers, we're in good shape. That was the cantaloupe we planted. I'm not sure how that's going to go. Although this one over here does have a flower. The rain just beat it down. And then here we have our zucchinis. And I'm going to end up staking those because that one's starting to get pretty good. Like we did the squash down there. Some bush beans in here. Again, the rain just pummels them. Over here we have some sugar snap peas and some snow peas coming on, and then our green beans, pole beans, which seem to be doing really good. And I have been pulling beans as I go. I mean, I don't have enough to just come out here and make a whole bunch for a pot of beans, but every day I check it. And then like we have some right there. Some more growing over here. You can see them or not. Oh, it's sometimes hard to find them, you know, all this green. You have to really look. It's like hunting Easter eggs. But anyhow, this is my huge okra, and it is just massive. We're gonna come out and need to cut some things, trim some things. If you leave them for very long, like this one, I'll probably kind of pull off. They get very large very quick. And then my mother says they're very kind of hard and not easy to eat. That's why you should like something like between 3 and 5 inches, I guess. Okay. But it's flowering still, putting out flowers, producing okra, doing real well. That about covered. There's some more cucumbers down here. Not sure which variety I planted there. We'll check back with that. Over here we have our pepper plants. I'm going to do some pulling on those today. That one's looking almost like an overripe. Then down here we have new growth. And then more peppers coming in down here and here. Over here we have our sweet peppers. This one's starting to turn red sweet peppers. That one's probably going to get pulled pretty soon. And this one's doing pretty good as well. And this is regular. There we go. Look at those. These are the regular bell peppers. So I've got 2 down here. It kind of plumped over, so putting a little weight on that. Over here we have the bush that survived the Hurricane Ian, and it puts out these tiny little colorful peppers. Not hot, just tiny, but it has really come into its own, and so I mean it's gotten rather big and it's producing, so there it goes. And then here we have our banana peppers, which is something I wanted to show you today too. Getting some more flowering, and then down here we have peppers coming in and more flowering, and then more flowering up here. But here's the funny thing. This is in the container garden. You know how they always say where there's a will, there's a way. So my containers have holes drilled at the bottoms and underneath to let the excess water flow out. So there's my banana pepper, and here's my where there's a will, there's a way. So out of that hole right there, I don't know if you can see, let me go. There, out of that little tiny hole is this cactus plant growing. A little cacti. Is that not crazy? I guess it has the will. So I might have to get some gloves at some point and see if I can't get it out and put it in a little pot for itself and let it grow. Eggplant over here, starting just now to get some blooms on that one. It's a little behind schedule. These over here, we got some little cherry tomato bush, and it's starting to produce a little bit. Right here is the, well, it will be if I can get that out of there. That is the eggplant there. I have one on that one, and then another one over here starting. Let's see here, this one, just going back and forth. I believe over here, this is the yellow bell pepper. I did pull some off already, and then I have a couple new ones coming in, but they aren't quite ready. Orange bell pepper's not doing well at all. I don't know what's going on there. This is a heat-resistant tomato plant, and if anyone has any suggestions, I have no clue. It's got tomatoes on it, but it is just doing very poorly. Next to that, we have another eggplant. I got one there, and I'm not sure. I kind of have to look. Oh, there's a small one on this side. And I just came out this morning and trimmed stuff up, and took some stuff and trimmed it back. That's my onions. Behind that we have our red bell peppers, which haven't turned. I did pull a couple off that were red to cook with yesterday. And then there's more back there. This bush is doing really well. These again are those small little tiny bell peppers. Not hot, and they'll turn color. Like yellow and red. A little small. And then our purple bell, which we finally, it looks like, got one started. Again, there's some flowering. I just did some fish fertilizer today on most of the stuff and got that started. Coming around, we have my grapevine that I started from the seed. Also doing a little poorly, but I just transplanted it, so I'm hoping it kind of kicks in. And my Myers lemon tree, which has a lot of new growth that I'm happy to see. Eventually this will go in ground. For now I'm just keeping it in there. This is the old carrot bed. This was compacted in, I don't know if you remember that video, but I had so much growth on top, and it was so gorgeous, and the thing on the top looked kind of fat and round, and I thought this is going to be a great carrot. And I pulled it up and it was about that big. Yeah, so we started a new carrot bed, but I'm going to repurpose this one and do something else. Over here we have the calamine in here, and they actually do get orange, completely orange, but they say if they get to the completely orange part, they're kind of overripe, that you want to pick them in the yellow orange stage. So some of these are probably just about ready to come off. Calamine is a cross between a mandarin orange and a kumquat. You can eat the whole peeling. However, very tart, very tart fruit. They say it makes good jam and stuff like that. Our blueberry bush, moving along. This is the new carrot bed. Yes, I know. It's a little oversown. So I'm going to definitely have to do some thinning and fix that up. These are some bush beans down here I have. They still flower, but I'm going to show you. I'm having, like, they're just not really producing good beans. I mean, what's that? So I did fertilizer today, and maybe the pot is just too small. Maybe I need to either put those in ground or a bigger pot. Over here we have our okra that's in the container. There's some that needs to come off today. Actually, I'm just gonna pop it off now. And because I've got a bag in the freezer and I'm saving them for my mom. But it's still, I mean, I've been pulling regularly and you can see it's flowering. Don't have anything in the purple thing yet. This was a voluntary, my butternut squash died off. All of it. And I came out one day walking by and I was like, oh my goodness, there's a new vine. So it's kind of a voluntary thing. So I did stake it up today. I'm gonna let it climb up and just see how that goes from there. I mean, I lost the whole thing, so I'm not really concerned. If it makes it up, I'll let it do whatever. Our crimson sweet watermelon vines running all along through the palette. And this is probably the best one I've had so far, and I am praying that it makes it. It is very pretty and looks the right shape, so that's promising. And it's about the only one I've got, so I haven't seen any more. So maybe all the energy's going into that one, which I'm fine with if it makes it. And then, yeah, I know I said I wouldn't plant any more corn, but I did. Glutton for punishment. I like the way it looks. It just never gets where it should be. Down here we have a crooked neck squash. I'll be doing the same thing. I'm thinking that staking them is a much better move as it goes up. Doesn't do it. My poor desert rose died off for some reason. Not sure what happened there. It was in a smaller pot, so I did repot it and see if it comes back. And then we have a zucchini down here, which is doing really well. So I'm gonna let that grow a little more, and then I'll stake that as well. And lastly, we have, it's one of my favorites, my Moon and Stars watermelon vines have come up. And if you notice the little speckles on them, that is not a disease. The actual Moon and Stars watermelon is a dark green, and it has, reason they call it Moon and Stars, it has these little speckles all over the rinds, what looks like stars, but the leaves have the same thing. So they look healthy so far, and I am so hoping I get a watermelon off those. I do have stuff on order, new stuff to plant. Hasn't come in yet, but so there we have the container garden. Our 3 rows. I still have some pots and stuff I can do things in. I just haven't got around to it. Been working. But that's pretty much all of that, you can see. And then the in-ground bed, which is doing really well as well. Alright guys, it's my day off. I did some work out here, and I think I'm going to go in and just relax a bit. We'll catch you next time from my backyard garden. Have a great day and happy gardening.